7 young explorers have taken on the biggest challenge of their lives, an epic adventure in the heart of Africa. It'll take them far from civilization, encountering endangered wildlife.
Such an adrenaline rush.
Witnessing unique tribal ceremony.
Oh, wow.
And trekking where none have been before.
So amazing.
They're following in the legendary footsteps of the great Scottish explorer, Dr. David Livingstone. And the demanding expedition will push them to the very limit.
It is a wake-up call. Horrible. I hate it.
Have they got what it takes to be serious explorers? Coming up, life at sea hits a new low.
Just can't stop throwing up.
A VIP welcome, African style.
It's like the celebrity.
And guests of honour at a unique show.
I've never seen anything like it.
Previously on Serious Explorers, the young adventurers set sail in 2 traditional dhows, following Livingstone's route down the African coast.
Oh, wow.
They had an astounding rare encounter with humpback whales.
Wow.
But they were less lucky with the weather. As time and the tide ran out, one of the boats got stuck on a sandbank.
Expeditions were full of surprises, ups and downs, and we're a classic example of that.
They finally reached their overnight stop on the tiny island of Gibondo at 2 a.m. It was a rude awakening to the world of exploring.
I didn't expect that on the first day. The longest day of my life, and I'm hungry and tired.
But they have little time to rest. They're woken at 7 in the morning by the expedition leaders Ben Major, an ex-army officer, and Polly Murray, a record-breaking explorer. For the next stage of their voyage, the whole team will be aboard one much larger traditional dhow.
A thing of beauty. It's the most graceful
Oh my goodness.
entry onto the boat ever.
I'm on.
Right.
So much bigger than I thought it'd be. I just thought it's the size of a normal one just then, but it's massive now and there's lots of room to move around and to sleep.
Conditions are extremely basic, but after yesterday's small dhows, it feels like luxury.
It has shelter. It's like, whoa. It is huge. It has a toilet. Yes.
Or at least a hole in the deck.
Straight into the sea. I think it's good because there's some privacy while you're doing your business. So, it's better than the other ones where you had to squat over the boat or jump in or something like that.
So, do you just want to position yourself along the boom?
The serious explorers prepare to continue their journey in the wake of David Livingstone down the East African coast, retracing key parts of the Scottish explorers' last expedition. 150 years ago, Livingstone sailed to the village of Pemba before heading into unexplored parts of Tanzania. The young explorers have a further sail of nearly 200 miles from Gibondo to reach the village before following him inland. What the explorers don't know is that when they arrive in Pemba, they'll be guests of honour at an amazing tribal display. It means they've got a very tight deadline.
Speed, 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 guys.
To get there in time for the show, they've just 3 days to sail the 200 miles. Helping them are expert local sailors, but there's no time to lose.
We're going to be the most efficient boat crew off East Africa.
Traditional dhows like this have sailed up and down the African coast for more than 1,000 years. The boats are completely dependent on the wind. With no motor, they rely on just one big sail to drive them along.
The sail is huge, and it takes about 10 people to actually lift it up. And just everything is such a huge scale. It just makes everything like 10 times harder.
Before long, one of the explorers has to braid the primitive toilet perched over the back of the dhow.
You're having fun in there, Ali?
No!
You know you're meant to squat, don't you? You're not meant to sit down.
Oh!
Ali also has to get used to having no loo roll. Local custom is to use your left hand instead.
Toilet paper is this. Oh, disgusting. I've washed my hands like 7 times with antibacterial stuff now and I just don't feel clean.
Sailing close to coral reefs and desert islands, the explorers start to appreciate why Livingstone loved coming to this part of the world.
It's just what you see on a postcard. It just looks so beautiful.
But as they leave the shelter of the coral reefs, the dhow starts to roll around in the ocean waves. There's trouble brewing in paradise.
We're going up and down quite a lot at the moment. I'm really starting to feel it, but I think after a few hours I'll get used to it.
I just feel really sick.
Suck in lungfuls of fresh air, yeah, and look at the horizon. But you're just going to have to fight through it. If you are feeling sick, get it over the side and try not to get it over other people.
Oh.
It's alright, it's normal, don't worry.
I can't really stand up for like more than 5 minutes without having to sit down again because I'm feeling so sick.
At the beginning I was feeling fine, but as soon as it got quite choppy, I started to feel queasy and just disorientated.
To combat the seasickness, the worst affected take turns steering the boat, forcing them to focus on the horizon.
When I was steering it, I just started to feel better after that, so I think I'm going to enjoy the rest of the journey actually.
With no modern equipment like fridges on board, David Livingstone took live animals with him, so that while he was sailing he could slaughter them for meat. The Serious Explorers dhow is also without electricity, and they'll be vegetarian for the voyage, apart from any fish they catch as they go.
Oh yeah, there you go, David.
Lunch is a local fruit called papaya, and despite a few fragile stomachs, they all decide to give it a go.
I just thought that maybe eating might help. Just if I have something in my belly, there might be something to be sick up, and that'll make me feel better.
Unfortunately, things are about to take a turn for the worse. The dhow's ancient design means it rolls from side to side, far more than a modern boat, and the seasickness is soon back with a vengeance. Now almost everyone feels diabolical.
Who's spinning woofty?
Yeah, okay.
I guess that'll be James then.
So far it's been really tough. I've got terrible seasickness and I just can't stop throwing up. So it's a real nightmare really.
I'll get over it in a bit, I hope.
Thousands of miles from home, it all becomes too much for Shan. Along with the seasickness, she gets a bad case of homesickness.
I'm actually surprised it's taken this long for one of you to feel like this. I know you do, I know. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's probably the first time you've actually been away from home, yeah? Like properly for a long time.
Just really hard. I'm just feeling really missing home. I just don't feel bad because I don't want to be here, but I do. And I just keep thinking of what my family would say about, and that just makes me get more upset. I'm just feeling like I can't do it.
Fresh fish is on the menu for supper, and the ship's captain demonstrates how to prepare it. But with their dodgy tummies, the smell of raw fish is the last thing most of the team need.
No, this is the big one.
Matt is the only explorer who hasn't yet felt sick, and he bravely volunteers to help with the gutting.
So you're low as you can next to the bone. Take it from its tail.
Gross.
Bonies.
It's gross, and it was disgusting, and we've left it for Matt to do, as we're all staying well clear of this.
Amazingly, amidst all the fish guts, Matt's iron stomach holds out.
Good job. Good job, Matt.
Brilliant. Good stuff.
Not looking too bad. So yeah, quite proud of it.
He even decides to push his luck by tasting a raw fish eye.
This is the only part of the fish that has fresh water in it. So in a survival situation, you'd go to eat the eyeball. So Matt's going to give it a whirl.
Unless
so
it makes me throw up.
give it a go.
Do I just chew it?
Yeah. Yeah, no problem.
You can chew it, yeah. Just chew it and then down the hatch. Water in it. Throw it in your mouth. Have a thought.
It tastes like bony.
Oh, this is disgusting.
It feels like I'm eating, but it doesn't actually taste that bad though. Surprisingly.
By the end of the day, they've sailed into another area full of dangerous coral reefs, and the tide is getting too low to proceed safely. So as the last light fades, they drop anchor.
We're out in the middle of the sea, and I feel sick. It's the worst feeling ever.
I've been finding it so hard. I've been sick on countless times. I feel awful. The smell of sick, like that disgusting smell, just travels and you just smell it. Oh, it's just horrible.
It's not pleasant for them, particularly James and David, the two who've been really quite sick. Probably tomorrow they'll feel a lot better, let's hope, because it's not nice for them.
8 o'clock in the evening, and David's fast asleep and he can't even hold down a cup of tea at the moment.
Matt and the boat crew have cooked up a Tanzanian speciality, fish stew with rice. But will anyone be able to keep it down?
It's quite nice to be eating some fresh food and a nice stew, which should hopefully make everyone either feel a bit better or go the other way and they'll just feel horrible.
David, do you like some food?
Doesn't this look
Careful.
fantastic?
Food's delicious. And it's really cool because we just caught the 3 fish and then we're eating them now.
The food is really good. And it feels really good to get some food into my stomach finally.
I'm not going to eat too much more because I feel I might throw it up. So I'm going to have to stop pretty much now. But no, it's really nice.
I'm really tired right now. I could do with a long nap.
But a good long sleep is out of the question. To stay on schedule, they need to sail whenever they can. And the tide will be high enough at 3 in the morning.
It's really annoying how we only have a little bit of sleep.
Hope you have a good night's kit, albeit very short.
The explorers have been split into teams in a watch system, with 2 hours on duty and 4 hours off. First up will be Shan, Ali and Matt.
Matty, good morning. It's 2:30 and you're on watch, I'm afraid. Okay? You sleep all right?
Look.
Okay.
I didn't actually sleep that well because I was on a really uncomfortable bit of wood.
After just 4 hours sleep, they're feeling shell-shocked.
Once we get going, it'll be alright. Right now, it seems awful.
I'm still a bit but let's go for it and see if we can get there.
Pull in the direct line as the other rope, yeah, makes it easier.
They're away in good time, but with the wind in the wrong direction, progress is slow. And they've now less than 2 days left. So far, they've sailed around 60 miles from Jabondo, but they still have 140 miles left to reach Pemba. It's going to be a close-run thing. And in the cold light of day, it becomes clear it's not just the wind that's against them. Any hopes they might have got their sea legs prove far from reality. The disrupted sleep, combined with the ocean waves, leave most of them feeling as bad as ever.
Sorry.
We're down to one able-bodied person. People come on deck to try and get some air, and they're either flat or they're hanging over the side going, but hoping that later on today people will start getting through the worst of it and will actually be able to pull together and enjoy what is an amazing place and an amazing mode of travel.
It's kind of horrible when everyone's ill. Like, it's not very nice even if you're not ill, because you can't really enjoy it because everyone else is feeling rubbish.
They're now sailing almost directly into the wind, and the leaders ask for as many hands as possible on deck to keep the boat on track.
Yeah, off.
But 3 of the team, Ali, Shan and David, feel too ill to come up top at all.
Every time I sit up, I feel sick. It's so annoying because I want to be able to help, and every time I do, I just want to throw up.
I just feel like I can't do anything, and if I'm up there I'm just going to be in the way, because every time I go up I feel sick, so I just feel quite useless.
Lunch today is a popular Tanzanian dish, ngali, a type of maize, which the local crew are preparing with fish. The explorers desperately need to get more food down, but will this prove a step too far? Throughout Livingstone's Tanzania expedition, he relied greatly on ngali, which he had as a kind of porridge for breakfast, and like a gritty mashed potato for dinner. He claimed to enjoy it greatly, but it's certainly not to everyone's taste. It's the first time the explorers team have tried it, and it doesn't go down too well.
I could taste almost like sand in it.
It's quite disgusting, really. I got a horrible bit of like really salty, sandy, kind of like a fish taste, and I just had to spit it out because I've been feeling sick.
I'm not that hungry today, so I don't think I'll be having a lot of it.
And I feel sorry for Livingstone for having to eat that all the time, because it's not very appetising.
For the serious explorers, it seems that ngali lunch is the last straw. As the tropical sun beats down, almost all disappear below, feeling seasick and sorry for themselves.
I don't want to lie in the sun, and at the minute there isn't any shade on deck, so when there's shade on deck I'll go back up.
It's hot and smelly in the hold, making them feel even worse. By late afternoon, Ben decides they urgently need a breath of fresh air.
Some of you have not even seen the light of day today. Yeah.
I'm scared because I've not got any sun cream on.
Well, that's not exactly difficult. And most importantly, it's 5:20 and the sun goes down in half an hour. Yeah, so it's not going to be a biggie, right? Exciting report, 7 people on deck.
They're rewarded with a stunning sunset, which works wonders in raising team spirits. Most feel so much better, they start to feel really hungry and fantasize about their favourite food.
I just wanted some chocolate, crisps, or an eclair.
Pizza or lasagna, that would be so good. Oh yeah, that would be good. Or some garlic bread. Yeah.
After 2 tough days on the Dow, everyone is now counting down the hours till they reach dry land tomorrow afternoon.
I cannot wait to get off this boat.
Can't wait to get back to land.
What I would give for us to just turn and go to land.
And their wishes are about to come true, far sooner than they think. During the night, the wind and currents turn completely against them.
You get the boom to the mast.
They're getting pushed backwards, and they have to change direction over and over to try and make progress.
Okay, loosen it. Loosen this one. Just loosen.
The struggle against the elements goes on all night. But it's a losing battle, and they end up several miles further back than when they started. By first light, they realise it's going to be impossible to reach Pemba in time for the evening show. They've covered 120 miles, but are dead in the water 80 miles short of the village. There's no option but to tow the dhow into the nearest fishing harbour.
These old boats, they need wind to sail and they need wind in the right direction. Livingstone was here. He came across loads of obstacles and hurdles. There's never going to be an expedition like this that is going to run like clockwork.
I'm no longer seasick.
That's incredible. Oh, finally.
Look, like land everywhere.
Yes!
The only way they can complete the journey in time is to leave the dhow and go by road.
I'm quite glad that we're stopping, to be honest, because I don't really like being seasick.
I didn't want to give up on the sailing, but obviously it just can't happen, so we've got to go with that. But I would have, even though I was feeling a bit sick on some of the days, I would have kind of liked to seen it through.
Seeing the things that we've seen, like the whales and stuff like that, and being on an Arabian dhow has just been a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Getting off the boat for the first time in over 2 days has an unexpected side effect.
Who's feeling wobbly?
Wobbly? Yeah. When you stand still, when you stand still.
I feel really wobbly, because I feel like I'm still moving on water and the sea. But I hope I'll get used to it again, get my land legs back.
It feels really good to be back on
Feels
flat ground.
The team have a drive of several hours to make it to Pemba, where Livingstone made landfall and had an extraordinary welcome. Wherever he went, the local people had never seen anything like it. A man with pale skin and strange clothes. It was as if an alien had landed from another planet. They were also amazed and sometimes scared by the things he carried.
When I exhibited my compass, they desired me to stop, as they were afraid of my wonderful things.
The fishing village of Pemba sits at the entrance of a large bay, and the team have to use dhows again for the short journey across to it. The village has changed surprisingly little since Livingstone's time. And the young explorers are about to get a very similar welcome.
Oh my goodness!
They're probably the first European children who've ever been here.
I've never had such a welcome before. This is absolutely so friendly.
Oh, wow. It's amazing. Every single one of them just wants to shake your hand. Oh, I love it. I'll live here forever.
This is really strange because it's like with celebrities, but don't even know them. I just think it's because they haven't seen a white person ever.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. I've never experienced anything like it. Everyone's just so happy to see you.
With no TV or computers, the local children show off their skills at more traditional games. And the explorers find it hard to compete. With little money, the villagers make toys from anything they can find. These hoops come from bits of old plastic barrels.
Every time I do it, it's just a fluke, to be honest. But it's so fun, just all the local people loving it. I'm going to get all the way around twice.
While modern football started in Britain, it's now found in the most remote parts of the world, and the African children give the explorers a serious run for their money. Result, a 5-all draw. In many villages he visited, David Livingstone was treated like a king. The locals put on tribal displays in his honour that no white person had ever seen before. And 150 years later, the young explorers are also guests of honour at an astonishing show.
I find it entrancing. It's amazing. I mean, I've never seen any kind of dancing like this. It's just incredible. There's not much to describe it.
The traditional entertainment is unique to the local tribe, telling stories passed down over hundreds of years.
It was just amazing. I've never seen anything like it.
It's just absolutely incredible, like literally glued to the seat and just like mouth open the entire time.
The children are among just a handful of Europeans who've ever seen these performances. One of the dancers calls on James to take part.
Just go for it, just go for it.
And to the delight of the crowd, he enters into the spirit of things.
It's such a welcome feeling and it's such an amazing electric atmosphere. It's brilliant.
It's been an unforgettable day, full of fun and laughter. But there's also a sadder side to village life, as David Livingstone himself quickly discovered. As a qualified doctor, Livingstone found many villagers didn't get enough to eat. Living in great poverty, they often relied completely on what they could grow, and if there wasn't enough rain for their crops, they simply went hungry. In some places in modern-day Africa, it's a situation that's changed very little. As night falls, the Sirius explorers enjoy a simple meal prepared by the villagers for their VIP guests.
The rice is very good, actually, isn't it?
But they slowly start to realise they're being given very special treatment. The local children are kept away and look on in envy at what the British children are eating. They even ask the explorers for any leftovers.
We had our food and they would just kept going, please give me food to eat.
All these kids were running around begging for food and it just felt horrible. I really wanted to just like give them everything I could, like anything I had.
After such an amazing day, it's an upsetting reminder of how tough life can be for some African children.
They just look so hungry, and it made me think about all them times that I just had a chocolate bar for the sake of having a chocolate bar, or said, oh mum, I don't want to eat that.
You see all these adverts on telly that are like about world hunger, but you don't believe it until you really see it, and now we've seen it in the flesh. It kind of got to me, because I've really seen how people live now, even at a young age.
Next time on Sirius Explorers, awesome animal encounters.
Oh, that was amazing.
Tensions in the team.
No, you didn't. You didn't ask anyone.
And keeping crocs out of camp.
Shine your big light in its face and back away slowly.